Have you been told that you have low progesterone and your solution was birth control, hormone therapy, or progesterone supplements, but no one could explain to you why your progesterone was low in the first place? Or maybe you've never had testing confirm it, but you're wondering if you may have low progesterone based on your symptoms like insomnia, anxiety, cycle issues, or fertility struggles. Or maybe you have tried all the things for low progesterone in women, things like supplements, birth control, natural treatment, cycle syncing, but nothing's actually changed and you're left wondering what else is there to do? If you said yes to any of these, this episode is for you. Today we're continuing the Real Root Cause series, where I'm taking conditions that are commonly labeled as root causes and breaking down to you what their real root causes are. This is super powerful because understanding a fake versus real root cause is the difference between healing your symptoms permanently or not. Today's topic is low progesterone. In this episode, I'm breaking down the common low progesterone signs and symptoms in women, why low progesterone isn't a root cause, why birth control, IUDs, and even natural progesterone support often misses the mark to healing your whole body, the 6 real root causes quietly driving low progesterone, and the 5 tests you need to do to find your specific root causes so you can naturally bring progesterone back up. And one more thing, for this entire Real Root Cause series, I've been creating visual guides to help you see the big picture clearly. If you're a visual learner or want this all laid out simply, head to betterbellytherapies.com/root to download the graphic that goes with this episode. Because when you stop trying to force progesterone up and start removing what is suppressing it, that's when you start to see real, true, whole body transformation. Hey friend, welcome to the Better Belly podcast. If you're currently trying endless supplements, doctor visits, and diet changes to heal your mystery symptoms, you are in the right place. We're here to solve the real root causes behind your gut, hormone, skin, sleep, and brain concerns, literally anything and everything in your body. My name is Allison Jordan. I'm a functional medicine practitioner that has supported over 150 clients just like you to heal problems that no one has been able to fix. You don't need a perfect diet or a random supplement you found on Instagram to heal. You need a proven system that heals your whole body from the inside out. That's what I'm here to share with you, episode by episode. It's time to make health easy again. And just as a reminder, this information is not meant to diagnose, manage, or treat disease. Always consult with your own health practitioner before you make any changes to your health. Hello, and welcome to the last episode in our Real Root Cause series, low progesterone. It is not the final one. We will do more real root causes later. And honestly, it's kind of the main thing we're doing all the time. I just don't usually call it the series. That's what we're talking about on the whole Better Belly podcast, is all these things that you've been told are the issue that are not really the issue, and really just debunking all these myths. Really trying to break down misconceptions that are keeping you stuck. And it is confusing. Like, there's just genuinely a lot of words out there and they sound smart and they sound reasonable. And I spent years trying to sift through them and make sense of all of them when I was sick and feeling very confused. And it's just through an excessive amount of studying that I don't feel confused anymore. So I hope that the series is helping you guys. And I hope that our low progesterone episode is awesome. So again, a lot of the episodes, if you missed high estrogen, low estrogen, high histamine, that was for the month of February, or anything before this, we've covered things like candida, low stomach acid, hypothyroidism. I feel like if I'm going to get blasted for something, it's going to be me saying hypothyroidism isn't a root cause. But go listen to the episode before you judge me. We're not going to talk about low progesterone. So let's talk about first, what are the symptoms of low progesterone? What would you be looking at if you had it? What are reasons that a doctor might think you have it or say that you have it? Or if you have it on a test, what are some symptoms you can correlate with? So one's going to be insomnia. I just spelled my M super weird. Infertility. No periods. or like skipping periods, light periods. Progesterone is a huge, huge, huge component of being able to get pregnant and being pregnant, and your body's saying to ovulate and stay pregnant. That is progesterone. You need a body that says, now is a great time to get pregnant. This body can handle being pregnant. All these things are great. And progesterone makes you feel really calm. So it's really great for mental health. Having low progesterone can make you anxious for no reason. It can make you especially anxious. I really think I see this triad emotionally and mood-wise is not sleeping, anxious, and then actually it can make you more prone to issues like diarrhea, because it slows, when you have sufficient or even high levels of progesterone, it slows down your digestive tract. That's why if you get pregnant, even before the baby's that big or anything, you can already start to suffer from more constipation or more sluggish bowel movements, because the progesterone is just calming everything down. It makes you think, if you've been pregnant or if you know a pregnant person or have observed it up close, you know that they tend to be these sleepy, like at any point in the process, sleepy people, maybe a little calmer than normal. There can be anxiety about the pregnancy or other issues that make them not calm. But I felt that generally I felt this weird sense of chill, insomnia, or not insomnia. I slept a lot because I had high progesterone, and that maybe sluggish bowels. So if you have low progesterone, you're not going to sleep as well. You're going to feel more anxious, less calm, and then maybe quicker bowel movements. Not entirely always going to be the case, but potentially erring on the side of diarrhea or just more frequent going. So maybe some doctor hears you describe these symptoms, or you have a test that comes out and they're like, you have low progesterone. And you think, wow, I finally have a reason to understand why I'm going through what I'm going through. But really, it's not a root cause. Low progesterone doesn't happen on its own. It's not its own solution. Because if you think it's your own solution, the only thing to do with low progesterone is then to give you progesterone with birth control or hormonal replacement therapy, HRT. It's not necessarily bad to do that as a temporary improvement, but it ignores the cause. And low progesterone's, its summary of all its causes is inflammation. Low progesterone is high inflammation. If you heard the episode on low estrogen is low vitality, and high estrogen is poor detox. So low progesterone is inflammation. Again, we don't know what the inflammation is. That's why you need other tests. You cannot stop at a hormone test when you're talking about healing your hormones. You must look deeper. What is the inflammation about? But so all that to say, you don't want to just stop at birth control and or hormonal replacement therapy. And a lot of times what happens is that our clients who might be on birth control and hormonal replacement therapy to help their progesterone, or estrogen for that matter, they need either a smaller dose or they're able to get off it completely, because when you actually deal with the root causes, your body's natural ability to manage and create hormones is restored. So just really wonderful. That's the beauty of root causes. You don't need to micromanage. You don't need to take the right supplement, even like bioidentical herbal hormones. You don't need to do any of that. Your body will manage it. Now, progesterone, if you've been in the series, if you've seen any of my visuals I've been creating or if you want to see the visuals, go to betterbellytherapies.com/root. You know that I've been underneath all these fake root causes. I'll draw little lines and have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Progesterone, I'm going to do slightly different. I'm going to actually create a little triangle. I'm just describing this for those of you who maybe you're not going to go download the visual, but I like you guys to know what I'm creating. I'm creating a triangle. And we're calling it the stress triangle. Stress is not one type of thing. When I say stress, I'm not just saying psychological stress, though that is one component of the stress triangle. It's the most common thing that people say. When people say I'm stressed, they're referring to states of their life or their mind that is high tension. So psychological stress can be financial, it can be relational, it can be in your career, it can be in your health, like the psychological stressor of having poor health. But it's your environment or how your mind is reacting to your environment. So your next option is going to be physical. Physical stressors might be poor sleep. It could be really sleep deprivation. It could be a surgery. It could be like running a marathon, giving birth. So some of these things are good. You might consider like, oh, running a marathon is like high achievement. Yeah. Giving birth. Yep. These can be like, some of them have positive connotations. Some of them have more negative. Some might be neutral to you. Car accidents. But all of them add a lot of tension and they damage our physical body. They're even, again, in surgery, it's intentional damage. We're intentionally going in and cutting things, but the body is like, whoa, I just got cut, like a lot. And so these are stressors to the body, and they can explain why I've had clients who, after a major car accident, it's all of their health issues happened after this car accident. Really interesting research. I have not mentioned this on a podcast episode. I came across it like, oh my gosh, before I was even a business owner. But that there's a correlation between traumatic brain injuries, so meaning, or a concussion. So if you're in a car accident and you hit your head, or you fall on ice and you hit your head, somehow you hit your head, there's a literal correlation between brain damage, concussions, TBIs, and it changing your microbiome. We don't even fully know how it happens. Like the best guess is something about the vagus nerve and like how your nervous system and then your brain's communication with your nervous system changes so much to your microbiome that it literally alters it. But just think that physical things alter your entire body, and they are a form of stress. On top of this, you might have psychological stress about your physical stress. Say you break your leg, that's physical stress, but then you're psychologically stressed that it's hard for you to move around your house with a broken leg. That's like 2 layers of stress. But then next, we're going to look at the last layer of stress is biochemical. This is the one that I think gets ignored the most, and it's the one that I talk about on the podcast the most, and it's the one that I think is the most hidden because it's ignored. It's when we think stress is causing all my issues, we think psychological, we might even think physical, but the last thing we're thinking about is, oh, I have low stomach acid, and that is stressing my body because I can't digest the food I'm putting into it. But it's a huge stressor to have low stomach acid. You might think I'm bloated and I'm stressed about being bloated, but why are you bloated? You might be bloated because of low stomach acid. And your body, ultimately, it's not just about the bloating. It's about the fact that you can't absorb zinc and iron and calcium and B12 because stomach acid helps you do that. Biochemical stressors can be poor detox, like your liver is congested. It can be pathogens like mold, parasites, H. pylori. It can be toxins like copper toxicity and uranium. I've seen so many HTMAs with just mega high uranium recently, and it's an issue. You could have nutrient deficiencies like not enough zinc, not enough calcium that's bioavailable, not enough magnesium, not enough molybdenum. That one's super important. If you've never heard of it, you could still be deficient in it. Food sensitivities are going to be, if you're sensitive to gluten, but your tummy doesn't hurt when you eat gluten, so you keep eating it. My tummy doesn't hurt when I eat it. Well, that's not the sign of a food sensitivity. A food sensitivity might not make your tummy hurt. It might give you brain fog. It might cause your skin to break out. It might make your joints hurt. But you have if you are eating foods you're sensitive to, that's a biochemical stressor. So interestingly enough, inflammation in your body can be any of these stressors, can be caused by any of these stressors. Psychological stressors in the brain can cause inflammation in the whole body. Physical stressors, think you roll your ankle, that causes inflammation. So definitely a surgery, definitely giving birth. But inflammation, that's just unresolved and chronic and undealt with. It's a huge issue because our conventional medicine system doesn't even acknowledge biochemical stressors for the most part. Acknowledge it in a way that actually changes them. So that inflammation I'm really seeing under the biochemical category. Huge, huge, huge thing. So if you look and you do testing for your digestion, detox pathways, pathogens, toxins, like heavy metals, copper toxicity, nutrient deficiencies, and food sensitivities, you find which of those you're dealing with, because everybody's different. That's a list of, when I look at, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things that I listed there. Maybe 3 out of the 6 are big issues for you. For another person, it's 4 out of 6. You could put 10 people in front of me, and all of them only have 3 issues, but it's 3 different combination of issues driving their inflammation, but they all have low progesterone. So there is no one protocol for low progesterone. There is, other than maybe the protocol is test to see all these things underneath the hood and then address what you find. And then watch your progesterone bump back up. It does come back up when inflammation goes away. So what are the tests that you can do for these? What I recommend, I like the GI map, the OAT test. Those can look at digestion markers. They look at pathogens. The baking soda test, which looks at stomach acid. The recipe for the baking soda test, you can literally do it at home. Just go to betterbellytherapies.com/constipation, download the PDF, and it has the recipe for baking soda test on like page 3-ish. Want to look at HTMA. It's a hair sample test that looks at toxins, like heavy metals specifically, and then nutrient deficiencies. And then my favorite food sensitivity test is called a Zoomer test. And when you do all these tests, you see which ones what you're dealing with specifically, what's underneath the hood. You can put protocols together that address all of them, not just 1 or 2 of them. Because imagine you have 3 issues, but you go and do a nutrition program and it addresses food sensitivities and nutrient deficiencies, but it doesn't address heavy metals and pathogens, or vice versa. You've done 3 parasite protocols, a candida protocol, and a copper toxicity protocol, but you've never been evaluated for mercury. Like, the combination is endless. Unfortunately, I never know all I know is that by the time someone comes and I meet somebody, they have tried stuff. Nobody comes to the Better Belly podcast or Better Belly Therapies, my company, and it's their first thing they've tried, because it isn't the first thing anyone tries. I didn't do any of the techniques in the Better Belly Blueprint when I was first trying to heal. I just did very basic, go gluten-free, try a probiotic, and just exhausted more and more things that didn't work. And it was because I wasn't getting specific with what my specific toxins are. And that's what all of these things are. I think I had all of them. Most of our clients have all of them. I had digestive issues. I had low stomach acid and not enough bile production. My liver was congested. I had multiple pathogens, including H. pylori and a parasite called Blastocystis hominis. I had mold toxicity and candida. I had copper toxicity, magnesium, sodium, and potassium deficiency. I had multiple food sensitivities. And the most notable is that I was eating a lot of corn and rice because I knew I was gluten-free, but then I was actually sensitive to those. Big issue. And so I do think you're going to, I don't know where you're at. Maybe you feel like you've tried everything, and I don't want to, this is never to make anyone feel worse, but I know personally for me, I really needed to get humble and say, I might not know what I don't know. And I remember, for example, the first time I did a GI map, my health was way better than it had ever been. And I remember being like, I don't want to do this. I literally only did it because I was in a program when I was actually learning how to interpret this test. They said, well, we want you to run the test on yourself. And I was like, I'm a bad person to do the test on because nothing's going to show up. And they're like, well, you got to do the test anyways. So I did the test, and I had Blastocystis hominis, a really gnarly parasite, and it's hard to get rid of. And I got rid of it. And guess what? I felt better than I had in forever. I mean, honestly, since before at least 4th grade, which is when I can really remember not feeling my best, just things feeling off in my body. And so, yeah, I'd say stay humble and also be open to the fact that if you have done these tests before, a couple things can happen. Number one, I unfortunately all the time get experiences where someone says, well, I already did GI map, and I'll go and look at it and be like, okay, did they do this, this, and this to help you? And they'll say, oh, they did this one thing, but what do you mean that these other 2 things need to be dealt with? oh, well, this marker's high and this marker's high. That means you want to do these things. Oh, they said I didn't need to do that. Or they thought those were high for some other reason. I'm like, well, whatever they tried didn't work. And it might be because their interpretation of this test was wrong. So sometimes tests interpretations have been wrong, even though you've done the right test or done a helpful test before. Sometimes the test information has simply changed compared to the first time you did it. Whatever the matter is, just staying humble and saying, I'm willing to go and get more information is going to be super, super powerful. So once you have all those lab results, then you can make a plan that's unique to you. And in our program, the Better Belly Blueprint, which is a DIY program, you can add on group coaching if you want more support, but literally just has videos and tools like our Lab Chooser tool that walks you through an entire process of knowing what labs you need to order based on your unique symptoms and health history, how to interpret the labs, and then how to modify protocol templates so that they're really quick to put together. And then you have a plan to follow that you then feel better on. And you get rid of all your inflammation, which like you're going to feel bad if you have a parasite and then you also have low progesterone, or you're going to feel bad if your liver's congested and then you also have low progesterone. Like you have both of these. So they're this whirlwind of symptoms and root causes. And you just start plucking them off and getting rid of all these root causes, and your inflammation goes away, and then you don't have low progesterone and you start sleeping better and your period comes back and you, maybe don't have diarrhea or like loose bowel movements anymore because higher progesterone is helping you not have too many bowel movements, or because you've gotten rid of pathogens or toxins that are causing a lot of bowel movements. All these things, they can just go away. And that's what we see with our clients all the time, day in and day out. So if you would like to go through that process and get it, just go to betterbellytherapies.com/blueprint. Start today. There's no wait list. Doors are always open. And start learning, start healing. You can do everything inside the program. You don't need a doctor to order any of your labs. All the labs you can get at wholesale price. You can order labs with an HSA or FSA account and just get going. Start healing, start getting answers, and take your healing into your own hands. I know a lot of you guys already are because you're listening to this podcast. You're not sitting on the sidelines. Give yourself the tool to not sit on the sidelines and to start being a player. So that is it on low progesterone. Really quick and simple episode in many ways. And if you haven't listened to the rest of the series, highly recommend go check out the other episodes. They're awesome. And if you want the visual to this episode, go to betterbellytherapies.com/root and you can see the triangle. You can see the symptoms to low progesterone. You can see the lab test that I recommend and get results, get hope. So I hope this helps. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next week.
Hey friend, I hope you loved this episode. If you've been a fan for a while or newly loving this podcast, can you do me a favor? Drop into Apple Podcasts and leave me a review. When you leave a review, you do so much. You help me know you're listening. You can tell me what you're loving so I know what to make more of. And you help others by boosting this podcast so other people like you can find the podcast too. I mean, it's a win-win-win, right? So if you want a way to pay it forward, just go to Apple Podcasts or click the link in my show notes and leave a rating and review. And if you want some more free stuff, just head over to my free Facebook group, betterbellytherapies.com/Facebook, and you can get access to all of my free support for you, including some Facebook group exclusive stuff like my podcast episode vault, where you can search the Better Belly podcast by topic and find exactly what you need to expedite your healing. I cannot wait to see you in there. Catch you guys next week.